All right, roll.
Hey everybody, Mike Ruler 31 here with McKinley 412, and we got special guest here, Gator Guy 231, who's actually, I consider him the grandfather of MLB here because I learned a lot from him. So
which is scary. Scary because the moment that I got you guys on, I couldn't get rid of it fast enough. But guys, seriously, and the reason that you had me on, the best slate of the MLB season, bar none. Is it tomorrow night? Or is it
tomorrow night? Yes.
We're recording this on Monday. It is Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm pumped. My one slate a year.
And when I first joined FSI, Gator was the coach in MLB, and he had one of the best strategies I've ever seen and never even thought of in the All-Star game. So that's why we brought him aboard here to kind of walk us through it tonight.
Yeah, and McKinley and I were talking too, and he was like, huh. I didn't think about that. So that kind of makes me think the madness might just be good. So, all right, let's let the cat out of the bag. So now for 3-4 seasons, maybe 4, since the first time they did it, I have never played a batter in MLB All-Star game. So legitimately, and you guys might be able to know this better than me. I think last year it was a sweat because until 45 minutes before the game, we didn't get all the pitchers. But almost always the last however many seasons, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you get the leaked set of all the pitchers per inning. So that Max Scherzer is going to go 2 innings. Who was it last year? It wasn't Sale. I don't remember.
They didn't play last year because of COVID. 2019.
Okay, it wasn't. So that's why my memory's so bad. It was 2 years ago. But
Verlander, I think.
Yes, it was Verlander. Yes,
yeah.
It was Verlander. I think Verlander went 2 innings, and we were pissed off that Max only went 1. And then if I remember right, it was Shane Bieber struck out the side and I think got a win. And I had him as a captain lineup. And that was $50,000 until the 7th inning. I want to say 2 home runs happened, but they all still cashed. So the point.
It was Hand Blew It or somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch it. I just watched on my phone. And just see what
money go up.
Yeah. Yeah. But so the rationale behind it. All right. And this is where I want you guys to pick holes if my rationale is wrong. But is you have, hitters, which obviously being a good hitter, you're 300. Hell, this season, if you're a good hitter, you're hitting 250, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we get what? 2 at-bats?
Maybe.
Typically 2 at-bats.
Maybe. Not even guaranteed 2, right? So we get 2 at-bats versus the top pitchers in the league. If we get a hit, that's great. So I can't even fully remember all the scoring. This is how unprepared I am, but I just know my strategy. What, 3 for a single, 5 for a double? Is that still the same? All right.
Yep.
See, it's still there. So 3 for a single, 5 for a double. Obviously, anything above and beyond, we're going there. Or I can play pitchers, even when the scoring got skewed down, and I'm guaranteed a point, right? It's really, really unlikely to see a pitcher in the All-Star game leave the game without retiring anybody, especially if they were named one of the first 5 guys, right? Late inning.
Let's call a timeout here because
Oh no.
This is the All-Star game of attrition, okay? I'm surprised that the starting 2 pitchers aren't Carlos Martinez versus Chris Flexing at this point because you had a lot of guys
out.
So we have when Kikuchi is an all-star pitcher, and I'm just looking at some of the people here. No, I think Reyes from St. Louis and Soto are probably the emergency guys. I don't see them pitching, but these are not A-list pitchers like they used to be back in the day.
You could do much worse though.
but honestly, the little bit of box score I have been doing in MLB this season, it doesn't seem like you have to be an A-list pitcher to, get a lot of these 220 hitters out, right?
But here's the biggest question.
Okay.
Will they be checking for Stickum? Or since it's an all-star game.
Let's let it go.
Exactly. And that's how I think I don't think that they'll be checking him as much.
I mean, I want to see every substance. It should be a competition of who uses the best substance, right? For my strategy to really work.
I love it.
But no, jokes aside, so here would be your answer, right? And I don't even know half the lineups, right? But do we who's the best player in the Major League right now? Is it Tatis? Close.
Ohtani's making a run.
Yeah.
Ohtani. Okay.
Which
makes it hard. Yeah, let's even do Ohtani, right? Do you want, especially with him pitching? I know we don't get points, but just because it's extra, stress. Do we want Ohtani Or like, would you rather captain Ohtani? This is gonna be bad. Everybody's gonna disagree with me, but I'm still going with it. But would you rather captain Ohtani, where your range of outcomes, right, are 0 to, obviously, he homers in both the bats, right? So he gets 28 or whatever. So you got 0 to 28, or for like a cash game, right? I'm not talking GPP, although I will play in GPP, but a cash game, my range of outcomes for Max Scherzer are what I think barely safe to say at the captain spot, 60K up to maybe like 15, maybe 18, depending on things. Right. So if I'm a cash player, what range of outcome do I want? Do I want the one where my multiplier spot could be 0, or do I want the one where I have a floor? And then you start looking at your entire lineup. If I know everybody that's pitching and I can lock in points at every single spot, why, again, other than like GPP, like go do what you want, but why am I not just locking in points at every single spot? Yet you look through these cash games and you look through these head-to-heads you get, and you just see like six batters. I've seen 6 batters in like $50 to $100 head-to-heads in past years. And I'm like, okay, come chase me down. So, I mean, that's my strategy. Like, well, obviously Megan knew it a little bit. McKinley found out like today, my strategy. Like, where are the holes, or what am I missing here?
I mean, with this slate especially, you got to be thinking about Coors Field and the power of Coors Field.
Sure.
That's your first
Hold on,
concern.
Matt. Give me the stat you were looking up earlier, and then
Okay, so the last All-Star game in Coors Field, 1998.
Yeah.
It was the highest scoring All-Star game in history.
Yeah. Yeah. What percentage of the players were juiced?
Well, I mean, probably a lot. But look at the year prior, it was a 3-1.
No humidor.
The year after was 4-1.
Right. But like, look at most seasons. And here's the funniest thing too. And I'm not going with stats. I'm just going off of like perception. Right. But I feel like every year that I watch it, it's normally the pinch hitters and the late inning guys is where the runs happen. The first 4 to 5 innings are pretty dull.
And that's what's happened. I was going to bring that up later in the video. The second half of the game, so like the bottom of the 5th on, has had more runs than the first half of the game in the past 5 years.
And keep in mind, what pitchers are we targeting, right? I'm not targeting 7th inning guy. I'm targeting
the top.
What they give you typically are the first 4 to 5 pitchers. They'll tell you like the managers have decided, like Barnes is going to get this, Ohtani's going to do this, Scherzer's going to do that. That's the only 3 pitchers I can name. But you know those guys, and those guys are at the front of the game. So those are the ones where we're trying to lock in points. But I don't know. That's my strategy. If you find me tomorrow, it'll be the only like baseball state you'll find me in. Just watch 6 pitchers in the lineup. At this point, now that Ohtani can't get pitching points, it'll be Max as cap, and let's go.
I mean, I think it's also throw it into a GPP as well, because looking at the pricing, there are 26 batters priced higher than the most expensive pitcher.
That's so silly.
26 batters. So you throw in 6 pitchers, you're going to be leaving thousands and thousands on the plate.
But cap this shouldn't matter too. When you have like I looked at it, what was it? Max is like 6K. So it's like, why does it even matter? But I think it's funny too. You're gonna have people that won't roster a starting pitcher because they're like, you're only gonna get an inning or 2 out of them. And it's like, well, you're only gonna get 2 bats or 2 at bats out of some of your hitters, yet you're rostering them.
And we did this strategy early spring training too, kind of, where you knew like pitchers were only going to go like an inning or so, and batters are only probably going to go 1 through the order, and God only knew who would come in next. So it definitely seems viable. Yeah,
I mean, look, it is more than viable. It might be stressful. You might be going, the homer happens and everybody passes you, and you go, my God, why did I not play that? Give it time. And then if you get a -7 from your pitcher, just know you're screwed. But other than that,
it's probably not going to be happening though. Yeah, you throw in the 6 top pitchers, you're leaving $18,500 in salary. I love it. Do it.
Well, I mean, hey, like you just said though, for GPP, talk about being contrarian.
Oh yeah,
it's like preseason football.
Right. But hey, like let's be real. What preseason football? People that adopt a different approach or a different mentality are the ones that cream every year. Like why are whether it's ETR guys or some of the top players, this is like preseason is where they cut their teeth. So should be fun. All right, I'm gonna jump off and let Andrew and McKinley take care of the real baseball. But I just want to do one last quick shout out to both of you guys. Unbelievable first half. Make sure everybody, you're giving them a like and a comment and telling them what a great job they are. They're just killing it. So guys, I appreciate both of you. See you.
See ya.
Yeah.
What do you think about this strategy? Are you going to be employing it tomorrow?
Yeah, actually, when Gator first broke it out, like the first year, I did it, and I've cashed every year since. It makes sense, and even if I wasn't playing this strategy, I think Scherzer makes the most sense. The captain is a cash game here because he's starting, he's going to get points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so what he was saying earlier, a single 3 points, they just used up one of their maybe 2 at bats for 3 points, and they're only getting hit 25% of the time this season. Even the best hitters are just really struggling. Pitchers are dominating this year. Yeah. So they get 1 strikeout. A pitcher gets a strikeout and pitches an inning. He's at 5. That's the equivalent of a double. So I will also probably be employing this strategy for sure. I'm kind of ashamed I never even thought about this, but it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense.
And for those of you who know baseball well and are new to exhibition games and spring training games, it is conceivable that if Max Scherzer goes out there and then the National League puts up runs on Ohtani and they hold the lead the rest of the game, he gets the win. You don't have to go 5 innings to get the win here. It's not standard baseball rules. It's whoever pitched when they took the lead, because you don't have a pitcher of record here.
And that's an excellent thing to bring up, because if you are employing this, just jam in 6 pitchers, you're really giving yourself a lot of options to have that winning pitcher. And honestly, where points are definitely at a premium, getting that +4 bonus for the win is huge.
And the other thing too, that it's a little bit riskier, and maybe not for cash, but for GPP, if you're going with a strategy, the one thing that you want to look at too is some of these closers, because they're used to going in and throwing hard and getting Ks. And I think it was 2 years ago, Hendricks, who's with the White Sox now, he had 3 Ks in an inning. There's times that Chapman has had 2 or 3 Ks in an inning. I think most of the other pitchers that you see that are actually starters, you'll only see 1 or 2. They'll nibble around. They'll get ground. They're used to getting ground ball outs. They can't throw 100 miles per hour every single time, or they won't be able to last as a starter. So I really definitely like looking at some of these guys. So you have Burns, Chapman, and Hendricks for the AL. You have Hader, Kimbrel, and Melcon for San Diego. So it's all just trying to figure out which one will they bring out. And if you look at the last couple of years, it seems like they've used about 2 closers in the 8th and 9th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I know I'm looking back at some of the previous logs here. 2 years ago, Scherzer went the first 2 innings. He got 4 strikeouts. If that's your captain, you are sitting in a great spot with a bunch of floor points behind you.
Was Roberts the coach that year also? Because I know he has been the All-Star game. The Dodgers were in the World Series a couple times recently.
Man, I could not tell you.
I think he might have been. It was either 18 or 19 that he's done. This is his 2nd All-Star game recently.
Okay.
So Cash hasn't been there. The other thing I thought would be an interesting strategy too, when it comes to pitchers and players, is to look to see who Tampa Bay and who the Dodgers have the next series after this. So maybe they go out as strategy and be okay, yeah, I'll leave those guys in a little bit longer, and maybe they get a little bit more tired, and they're not available for my series right away.
That's next level thinking. That's beyond what I think I'm going to be going for. But hey, go crazy. It's the All-Star game. It's the craziest slate of the year, with batters only going 2 at bats maybe and such. So
if I was if Garrett Cole was having the greatest season ever, and I'm the Tampa Bay, and like they and the Yankees, I know the Yankees are having a horrible year this year by their standards, but if they and Tampa Bay were like neck and neck for the division, I'd be like, Cole, you go pitch the whole game. No, stay out there. No, I don't care you giving up 20 runs. Oh, geez, you stay out there. You'll get it eventually. Just run them right down.
That would be incredible. That'd be incredible.
It'd be the last All-Star game. Nobody. And honestly, when I was growing up as a kid, like the All-Star game was elite. It was almost like the first like dream team for USA basketball. But now it just, like NBA taught us load management. So it's just like the basketball team is still good, but the world's caught up, and it seems like this All-Star game too, it's just not the stars that it used to be. And I understand we're still in post-COVID, but it just seems like some of the guys are still like resting just because they don't want to go. It's not to the point of the Pro Bowl for NFL, which is just completely ridiculous, watered down, or the NBA All-Star game. I think it's still like out of all the All-Star games, you're a bigger hockey fan than I am, so maybe you can speak to the integrity of that one, but it's just kind of lost a little of its luster.
Yeah, I mean, hockey's fine, but let's get into another strategy that I think we could use here.
You want me to pull up DK, or are we just okay talking?
I think we could just be fine talking. I'm not talking about salary. I don't think salary is going to be too much of an issue here. There's lots of super cheap guys in there. But the next strategy that I've used in the past and it has been successful is playing bats. If you're really looking for the bats, playing the guys who are not in the starting lineup. The guys in the starting lineup, they're going to get 2 at bats maximum. You're going to get maybe one guy in a year, both teams, that might go 3 at bats, but it's typically going to be 2 or 1. So once they put that replacement in, they're going to be going 2, possibly 3 at bats, maybe even a 4th if there's a lot of runs in the later half of the game. Like I mentioned earlier, the past 5 All-Star games have seen more runs in the second half of the game than in the first half of the game. So you're seeing these bench players getting more at bats more often in the years than the starters. So that's just another strategy. What have you thought about that one?
It makes sense, because I don't think they're breaking out the stupid spring training rule that we had where you could pull a guy and then re-put him back in, which was like the most bizarre thing ever.
That was frustrating.
Yes, absolutely. You're like, oh man, my guy's out after 1 at bat, and then like 3 minutes later, like, wait, he's back.
Yeah. No, so like if you just like do a quick Google search, even on MLB.com, you can find all of the reserve players that are going to be batting in the game. And put them in there. So just kind of like match up the positions. They pretty much line up. It's not exact science, just going through the box scores, but it's pretty first base, subs for first base, and so on. But like I said, there are exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, the bench players are
Did
getting.
your boy Segura make it? Because he plays like 5 different positions, it seems.
Are playing. No, I don't think he did. No. Bench players they're getting more at bats than the starters are in the past 5 All-Star games. So that's just another strategy if you want to employ more bats instead of the pitchers.
Now with position players, do you see like the coach, if there's any like Tampa Bay or Dodger guys, kind of giving them a longer leash because they know their players and trust them a little bit more?
I don't know. I'm not going to make something up here. Like I really don't know.
Angles.
No, I totally understand that. I think you need to look at this slate from like every single direction. And just because you really don't know, there's so many twists and turns, and each manager is going to have a different style. Like Scherzer, is he going to get 2 innings tomorrow? I mean, he did in the past. This time, maybe not. Who knows? So it's really up to the manager's decision. And I wish I could get inside their head, but.
Okay, well, this is a fact. Okay. Would you favor, if you have to make a decision, an AL player over an NL player because they are the road team and they should get the top of the 9th if the team, because there's a chance that NL only gets 8 if they're leading after 9?
If the 2 players I'm comparing are starting players, it doesn't matter at all.
No, but I mean, with your strategy for like the later on guys.
With the later on guys, I probably would lean towards an AL just because I can guarantee that I'm going to get an extra half inning. So I'm going to get at least 3 more at bats, guaranteed. I mean, it could draw even, but there is a possibility that I get 3 or more at bats, especially if they do well in the top of the 9th.
So the same thing with like closers. Would you prefer an AL closer or an NL closer? Which one's more likely to get a win? I would think maybe an AL one because they pitched the bottom of the 9th coming in. Well, DK doesn't give a save though, so
no.
So you kind of want the setup guy. So you're looking for who might get the 8th. So I don't know. Too much thinking there.
It's too much thinking.
But that win is huge points. If you can nail the win at your captain, that is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like chasing a home run.
So looking back, the winning pitcher. Actually, I do not have that information. I thought I did. I was trying to find out who the leader has not. The winning pitcher has not come from the first or second inning in the past. How many All-Star games?
Right. Well, actually, it did. It came from a couple of years ago. I look back. I think like Gator said it was like Bieber, like in the second inning or so, and then whoever held the lead throughout the rest of the game. I think that was like the one that was like 6-8 or something.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Game logs are there. Go have fun in the game logs section. Baseball Reference, it's an amazing site. Highly recommended if you haven't already. But I mean, I think those are really the 2 strategies that we're going to be looking at tomorrow, tonight, whenever you're watching this video. Is either jam up 6 pitchers because you know you're going to get a decent floor, and it has had great success in the past couple of years. Or if you want to go more of a batting route, play the guys who are going to be coming in and who aren't starting in the starting lineups, just because they have a chance to see more than those 2 at-bats. And in the past handful of All-Star games, those bench players have seen more at-bats than the starters have.
Do you have a favorite bat for tomorrow?
Not really. I think I'm going to be employing more of the pitcher role, the 6 pitchers. I mean, there's a lot of cheap bats, and I don't think I'm going to be paying. I'm not going to be paying $10,200 for Tatis to get 2 at bats. I understand it's Coors, but he's top of the lineup. He's probably going to be going against the best pitchers from the AL. So I'm not too interested in paying that much for a hitter. I'd probably lean down more towards the guys like in that middle range. I don't know. Castellanos. He's a starter though. Machado in that kind of range there though.
Right.
Do you have a favorite?
Probably Arenado. Like I like him being at like home in front of like the home crowd and everything. I know it's a neutral crowd, but is it really? I mean, it's gonna be a lot of people from the Denver area, the other people that came in, but primarily it's usually mostly local. So
his former home, but his home.
Arenado, isn't he? Oh yeah, you're right. I'm living in 28. Like we were talking about like 18 and 19. Okay, yeah. So he's gonna return to his former home.
Is he still your favorite hitter?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I really like the narrative there. I just being familiar with the park and everything. So
can we just talk like 2 seconds? I know we're getting along in this video, but we have 2 Pittsburgh Pirates in the starting lineup. Like, come on.
Like I said, it's just like the attrition in this game is just crazy. And like, I feel horrible for like Acuna. Like that was just so bad, not only for the Braves, but for Major League Baseball to have like a young star go down and just.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Frazier is having his batting average is great. I mean, he hasn't really done much else, but yeah, 2 Pittsburgh Pirates in the starting lineup. I kind of chuckled when I saw that. So, but that's pretty much all I got here, information wise. Anything else from you?
No, I think it's going to be fun to watch, and a really good time, and it's great to have it back. I really missed it last year, so I just hope some people can, throw some bets down and bankroll management. Don't go crazy on this. It's baseball is such a high variance sport, and the factors in here just make it so much. So we're just trying to give you some interesting strategies to use, like 20 max or something like that. Don't unless you're willing to take the loss, like the 150 max. And for games like this, they throw out like these huge contests, but you figure like you got people that have computer programs making every single scenario possible and jamming in those lines. So play for fun, have a good time, and then it's nice to have a couple days off. We have a showdown slate on Thursday, and then we're back at it with 2 double headers and a full, 15 game slate on a Friday. So it's been a fun first half, very profitable, and looking forward to going on. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to because there's no DFS on Wednesday, so I think I'm going to put together a KBO slate. I've been playing that quite regularly and doing okay. So I think that if some of you are looking for something to do on Wednesday, that's not going to be a set it or forget it one. You're going to need to wake up around 5 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time, or stay up really late if you're on the West Coast to about 2 a.m. to lock, just to make sure your players are playing and there's no rainouts, because it is Korea and they do get wet quite often. But something to help you get through the one day without DFS. I know there's Gold Cup and a couple other things going on, but that Wednesday is usually the worst day of my year because there's so little sports going on.
There's nothing. Maybe there's a random soccer slate somewhere.
Yeah, I the final thing I'll say is, like, when COVID hit and all the sports went, my daughter came to me and was like, "Dad, it's like the day after the All-Star game for a whole month."
2 months. KBO was the savior there.
We got NASCAR back too pretty soon.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Subscribe to our channel if you just found us because you're looking for All-Star Game content. We break down slates almost every single day. So, we're really glad that you tuned in here, and check out our channel, subscribe so you know when our videos come up, and give us a like, and we'll see you next time. Good luck tomorrow.